Welcome to Badly Written Boy, a reciting of my teenage years and my 20s, now as a 40-something. How do I remember all these things? I wrote it all down in a diary. Badly. Enduring with me on this retrospective, cringeworthy experience is my wife, who has never read my diaries. Welcome everyone to another episode of Badly Written Boy. My name's Mark and we're joined today by Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Why do you make a name up every single week? Anyway, recap. We are halfway through what year?
We're halfway through 1996 and we're on the cusp of a holiday to Wales.
But the big news this year is that you had a girlfriend and you lost a girlfriend. We don't think there was any kissing. We don't think there was any boob grabbing. You just hung out on the bus and denied that you liked each other when you were in public.
But we did go on a date.
You went to town.
Yeah, that constitutes a date.
Okay, but there was no hand-holding.
There was hand-holding.
Okay, it was hand-holding, but there was no kissing.
No.
So that's where we are with the love story so far. Let's see, what do you reckon? Another girlfriend this year? Do you reckon you can do 2 in 1 year?
Honestly, I can't remember. Before we get into the holiday and before we get into high school days, I just wanted to make a note of 3 silly things that happened to me when I was in middle school that weren't mentioned in the diary, but I thought would be funny to go over.
Okay.
So, in year 6, we did a talent contest and I got up in front of the class and I sang.
You sang?
I sang. I sang I Can't Dance by Genesis.
Could you please give us a short rendition?
Oh, I don't know if I can.
Yes, you can. Because I understand how ridiculous it is that you would choose to sing, but nobody else does.
Oh,
so, short rendition, please, of your best attempt.
Right, I will sing it halfway through the episode.
No, you won't. You'll sing it now.
Oh, man. Hot sun beating down, burning my feet just walking around. Hot sun making me sweat. Gator's getting close, hasn't got me yet. This is why you should not make me sing.
I thought that was pretty good.
I thought it was absolutely terrible. One of the other embarrassing things that happened to me when I was in middle school, so you know how I used to swim, obviously, competitively.
It's weird that you've not really mentioned it in the diaries.
No, not once?
No,
you don't remember?
Not really.
Being anywhere near water?
It's not a standout moment for me.
Okay, well, I got paraded in front of the whole school, having done well in one of the school swims.
Did you shit your pants?
I did not shit my pants. That's not why I got paraded in front of the school. I had won gold in one of the races, and I was being paraded in front of the school by Mr. Shell, and people were clapping, and then he asked me, he said, "Oh, which stroke did you win the race in?" And I said, "Butterfly." And he said, "Oh, which one?" And I thought that he didn't know what butterfly was.
You didn't.
So rather than say...
You didn't.
Rather than say butterfly again, I started demonstrating what butterfly the stroke looked like.
Out of the water.
Out of the water. So I was basically flapping my arms back and forth.
Did you move your legs? Did you do the mermaid kick with your legs?
Well, no, because I was standing up.
Yeah, I know, but you could do.
I wasn't just air humping.
You could do a weird, silly salmon.
Don't worry, I looked stupid enough. And my brother was there to see this wonderful moment, and he can vouch for this. This was probably the most embarrassing one. So the third one. So I've sung in front of a class. This isn't all in the same day, by the way. So sung in front of class, paraded in front of the school, and made a tit of myself then. This one's probably worse. So do you remember I got punched by that kid from the year below?
Yeah.
Walker. And then people found out about this throughout the course of the day, and then somehow a rumour began that I was going to have a fight with him after school. School ended, and loads of people came out. Like, it's just a ridiculous amount of people came out to watch this fight that I was allegedly going to be involved with. So he was there, and it didn't really turn out to be much of a fight. In fact, it was pretty pathetic. I just pushed him around a bit and didn't actually punch him. And then he just shrugged and walked off. So I ended up looking like an even bigger knobhead.
Well, at least you
At the
tried
end
to
of it all.
fight instead
Well.
of him just being pushed around.
Yeah, but still, I should have gone back. I regretted that.
You can't regret not beating the shit out of someone. That's not.
It wasn't
not
even. It wasn't
something
even
you
close to
regret.
that. It wasn't even close to that. Anyway, moving on. Welsh tour day 1. We're into July.
Oh my god! If this is anything like your Isle of Skye holiday,
Well, that's it. Do you reckon the Welsh holiday is going to be as crap as the Scottish holiday?
I think it's gonna. Well, you don't have to drive quite as far, so that's a bonus. But I don't know how much money you've got to spend. Last time when you were in Skye, we had like a running tally of how much money you had.
Day 1. Today was a long drive down to Wales, which was always going to be tiring. It took ages to get to the caravan park, and when we got there, we were relieved. After checking our caravan out, which was good, we went for a walk around the park. The beach isn't very nice, and you can tell by the burnt-out car and still smoking fires that the hooligans have been here. Day 2. We checked out this small town not far away from the park. It had quite a few good shops, and they were quite good to look in. I could have bought quite a bit, but decided not to since I only had about £26.
There we go.
There's your tally.
That's a lot of money. I reckon you only had about £5 last time in the Isle of Skye.
Yeah.
It wasn't very much at all.
So
£26. You must have been saving for a while.
£26 to spend during 2 weeks.
That's like nearly £2 a day.
After we finished walking about, we went into the car, drove to Barry Island. Barry Island is really cool.
Barry Island! It was from Gavin and Stacey. No, have you actually been there?
I have been. And it's got a bunch of amusements, a fun park and an okay beach. We had a short look around and then went into the amusements. I went straight to the 2p machines and spent £1 on them. That's a lot of 2p's.
Down to £23.
Well, not really. It was £26 minus £1.
Oh, 26. I got my numbers wrong. £25. I apologise. Rookie error from me.
Mum and I soon realised the machines were rigged as the coins slipped down camouflage holes into the centre bank. After that, we drove back to St Mary's Caravan Park.
I can just imagine you like shaking your fist in anger. It's rigged, I tell you, it's rigged.
Well, at least I didn't get addicted and spend the whole 26. Day 3 was pretty cool. We went to Cardiff. It's not a long drive to the capital of Wales from the caravan park. We parked in this rip-off multi-storey car park. It didn't explain the prices until you got in, so no matter what you did, you still had to pay, I think it was £1.30 an hour.
God, that's cheap now.
It is.
I'd love to pay £1.30 an hour to stay in a capital city.
We also went past Cardiff Castle and we discovered a whole heap of people giving out pork pies. We ate some of them and drank some fizzy drinks. There's a cinema in Cardiff and Mum said if there's a rainy day we can go and see a film. I hope we see Independence Day, Twister or Kingpin. Oh,
Classic.
absolutely fantastic trio of
1996,
films
what an
there.
era for movies.
That is a good
Imagine
lineup.
seeing Independence Day at the cinema. Like that big scene where the alien ship destroys the White House.
Yeah, and imagine seeing it for the very first time in the cinema.
Well, that's what I mean.
It was.
In 1996 with
It
those
was
graphics.
impressive.
Yeah.
It was impressive for the time. Day 4. Today it rained quite a bit, but we still managed to get out for the morning when it was a bit brighter. We went to Swansea, which had a much better presentated city.
Oh, Marcus.
Good presentated.
Presentated. Did they persuade you to stay in the city?
They persuaded
With their
me.
excellent presentation.
Excellent.
Wheels, D5. I can't do a Welsh accent.
Wheels.
Wheels, D5. I can't do it.
It's probably about right.
Today we went to 2 castles which are quite near Cardiff. These were Castle Cock.
We should do a castle count.
Well, we're on like
So Oystermouth.
Oystermouth, Castle Cock.
I think it's Cosh, not Cock.
I'm going to say Cock.
Castle Cock.
And Castle Caerphilly.
Carefully.
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 So Cock and Carefully.
Carefully Cock.
Castle Cock was by far the best. It could be seen from miles away, clearly being built on a hill next to a forest.
The cock could be seen from miles away.
I mean, that's a smart place to build a big old cock tower, isn't it?
A cocktail.
Right on top of a hill where everyone can see it. Had 2 main towers with spiral staircases leading up into the exotic rooms. I think that's meant to say erotic.
Say again?
The cock has erotic rooms, apparently.
Well, I don't think we're in a castle.
I don't know where we are.
I think we're in a massive Welsh brothel.
The best one I liked was the bedroom, obviously, because on each bedpost there was a clear crystal ball that shined in the sun through the small windows.
That sounds hot.
I mean, this is turning into like erotica, essentially. It is. That's all we've got from day 5.
Oh,
just cocks and
left me
sexy bedposts.
Left me wanting.
With giant balls on top. Wales day 7. Oh, you spelt Wales with an H, but you crossed it out. You figured your mistake.
Okay, I'll forgive myself.
Today was a very special day because we were re-meeting some fabulous old friends, some of which I had not seen for 5 years. You have gone in this book from writing like a 5-year-old to writing like an 80-year-old. What is that sentence? Today was a very special day because we were re-meeting some fabulous old friends, some of which I had not seen for 5 years. These were the very kind Lewises. Mr. and Mrs. Lewis had been staying in their sister's and stepsister's house for their holiday from Australia. I remember they were like Granny and Grandpa Lewis, weren't they?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so these guys are pretty special, I'll forgive you. They're getting old now, especially Grandpa Lewis. I call him Grandpa, not that he is, but when I was small, I had to have a way of calling them. And since they had been so nice to us during Mum and Dad's divorce, they were just like family. Grandpa Lewis had unfortunately had a stroke a long time ago and is now very frail. In his time, he was a very nice man. Oh. When we answered their door after a lot of trouble finding it, Granny Lewis opened the door slowly and let out a shocked cry and hugged us all. I was the first to go up the stairs and meet Grandpa Lewis's sister and then Mr. Lewis himself. It took me a short while to remember them, but I did, and it was okay. We talked a lot and we told each other about the things happening in Australia and the UK, such as crime. Such as crime. What thing to talk about?
Yeah, we haven't seen you for this many years. Let's talk about crime.
What?
Put your elderly minds at ease. What sort of crime do you reckon I spoke to them about?
I don't know. But
petty crime.
Well, maybe you told them about that car that had exploded behind your house and you ran out there in less than 2 seconds.
Well, there was a car fire next to the caravan.
There was also, there was a burnt out car, yeah, there was.
Yeah.
Oh, we're on to the favourite day of the holiday. Day 8.
Day 8.
Today was one of my favourite days of this holiday so far, but it was also a bit expensive. Uh-oh.
There goes the £25.
We know you don't like spending money. We drove again to Porthcrawl, where the beach lay, and went into the fun park there instead. I went on these really excellent motor-powered go-karts, and Philip went on one too. We speeded around the track at fast speeds. I had so much fun speeding around at such amazing speed.
Speed.
So much speeding.
Speeding.
So much speed. I got a lap on Philip and nearly burned past him on the road track. I also went on my first real roller coaster with Michelle and it was screaming fun. We had a cooked lunch from a takeaway beside the park and I had pie and chips. A delish. Mum played a game of tennis as well. We have also been playing through the week.
Awesome day.
Favourite days of the holiday so far?
Today we went to Grandpa Lewis's sister's house. We hadn't met Lillian or her husband Tom before. It was quite a drive and it was quite a job finding their house.
I keep thinking, why is it so hard to find it? Because the sat-nav will just take you straight there, and then I'm forgetting that it's the 90s.
Yep, no sat-nav, just road maps. Apparently, Lillian was expecting us to stay for a night or two. She was so prepared. When she said that we were just coming for a day, she kept trying to push us into staying a night. But Mum managed to get a good banagalo.
Banagalo?
Bungalow.
Is that what that's meant to be?
Banagalo. Bungalow.
Banagalo. Nice.
Day 11, we went to a medieval village, but none of it was real. But it was on the site of
none
a
of
real
it was
one.
real. No shit. You're about 1,000 years too late.
We used just one of the CDs each to guide us around. Oh, it was a guided tour. Guide us around the small site. I sparked up this really good fire with some hay and wood. I'm assuming that was something that was allowed and I wasn't just starting fires randomly. Arsonist.
Can you imagine? The whole thing would be on fire if it was a medieval village with thatched roofs and shit.
Yeah. Well, that was sounded like a pretty decent holiday, really.
Oh, I give it like a 3 out of 10.
Yeah. But for a teenager.
That is probably a 2 out of 10.
Yeah, but
it's no caravan club, is it?
Well,
You're supposed to get all the clunge at Caravan Club.
well, if you're an in-betweener.
That's what they promise you.
Today really sucked because Mark Twill rang Mum up to tell me that I haven't got a full paper round because of some stupid bastard called Peter.
Did you deliver paper round to him and he complained about you and then you lost your paper round?
No, I think
or Peter's a kid.
He's another kid that had the round. But
And he took part of your round.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he'd already been working there. I think it's a bit over the top, insulting him like that.
That's not very nice, is it?
Yeah. Today is Bank Holiday Monday, so everybody will be everywhere at every time of the day. Well, I don't think that's true.
So dramatic.
It's
Although
impossible.
there is literally nothing worse than having a day off work and other people not being in work. Like, I hate going to the shops on my day off and there's people there. Like, what are you doing? Why are you not working?
Right. Get out of my way.
Exactly.
We went to Bamborough, but it sucked too much because of some rain, so we drove to see houses and vandalised the 2p machines. Only kidding.
You're so funny.
Today was cool because I ran into Dave's shop only to find Mum there. She had had a word with Dave about my paper round, so this is a different shop.
How many shops do you have paper rounds at?
Well, one currently, but this is a different one. She had had a word with Dave about the paper round, and I no longer have a full one. But after that, I did. It turns out I'll be getting £7 for 6 mornings, which is better value than I've done previously. The hard bit was I had to tell Alan I no longer needed the crappy round at his. The other good thing was that we went to see Independence Day, which was great. Wow, there's a babe up at Dave's shop who does a round.
Here we go.
For him.
Girlfriend number 2. Whoop, 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 whoop.
She's a real fantasy of a girl. Her name's Lexi. Anyway, the cool thing is about her is she had to give me this tour of her paper round because she's going on holiday and Dave wanted a boy to do it next time as it's winter and the mornings are darker. I hope Lexi ain't annoyed about me getting her round.
Well, surely she's getting it back when she comes off holiday.
Unknown. I didn't have to do a round this morning because Lexi isn't going on holiday until tomorrow. Me and Richard had this cool game of Hunter on our bikes down at the exhibition park. Unfortunately, I fell off my bike after crashing into the curb because of a dodgy steering on my bike. Blaming the bike. Got no balance.
Today is meant to be a really bad day, but it turned out okay. My new teacher's called Mrs. Younger, but it changed over the holidays. She's now called Mrs. Donaghy.
Oh, so I had to learn Mrs. J. Younger. And now she's changed her name.
So she got married and changed her name?
Yeah.
Right, okay. I'm with you.
It used to be how it worked.
No, well, I thought it was a different teacher.
No.
Your diary is not very clear.
I understood. I understood perfectly.
You understood because you lived through it, you fool. So your uniform is a navy and sky blue tie, plain white t-shirt, black trousers, navy jumper, navy socks. Boring.
You know the tie?
Yeah, Phil.
Phil designed it.
Yeah.
And then he got bullied because he designed the tie.
Well, obviously. Why would you even try and design a school tie? History is very boring. Mr. Drew, commonly known as Penfold, talks to us as if we are fifth years.
Penfold. He did look like Penfold off Danger Mouse.
Yeah. Bald and wears glasses.
Yeah.
All the lasses in our new class fancy Matthew, but this does not bother me since they're all ugly pigs. You are scathing. You say that they're all ugly pigs, but you know if any of them showed an interest in you, you would be polishing your instrument till the cows came home.
That's an assumption.
A correct assumption.
Give me that diary.
Give it here. He was very good. We had to do a bleep test. Which is a test all the year does to see how fit we are. You have to run between two lines spaced 9 metres apart and run when the bleeper goes off. You have to get to the other end before the bleeper goes off again. It's very complicated. It's not the least. It's the least complicated thing that's ever existed.
The bleep test.
You've written that it's very complicated. You run from... I've not finished that page. You run from one side to the other in time with the beeps. It
sounds so complicated.
You have to do one thing, which is run.
Well,
and you have to get there before the beep.
It might have been really dark.
Or you're out.
It might have all looked the same.
That doesn't make it complicated.
It might have been a circular room.
Anyway, I got 9.7, which is good.
Sound pretty good.
I reckon I'd get like 2 if I had to do the bleep test now.
Today was quite cramped with the morning and afternoon paper round. It was real life and science because we were doing tests on the force speed. We were
Force
using...
equals mass times acceleration.
Nerd. All the girls in our class are fat, ugly commoners.
Look, what?
And that's a shame because all of them fancy my friend Matthew. Poor lad.
Oh, please. I can't wait for one of them to hit on you. That's totally going to happen. And you're going to be like, ugh.
Today was pretty cool. And before I got a good pay from Dave, the guy I work for up at the paper shop, my bank account will now have reached a, oh my God, colossal, COLLOSULL. Colossal. £50.
50 smackaroons.
Yeah. What a colossal amount.
So colossal. Almost as colossal as your instrument.
I went into town after that by myself and bought my Match comic and a new single called Wannabe by Spice Girls.
Oh my goodness.
First ever cassette single.
New single.
Yeah, what is
called Wannabe by the Spice Girls.
You might have heard of them. Mum won £5 on a scratch card and then Michelle won 20. Oh God, I never win anything.
Where is your table of winnings?
In fairness, I haven't lamented the fact that they've won money. Orchestra was better than last week's. Mr. Coxon gave me some playable music like A Drunken Sailor.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? It's better than Tales of the Riverbend.
Ah, the classic.
Was it Salmon Tales?
Salmon Tales of the Riverbank.
I told Mr. Flowers I wouldn't go to the art club because I was expected at home. If I attend... Yes, please, more wine. What are we drinking?
We are drinking Gramps Shiraz Tempranillo.
It's delicious. If I attend next week, I'll be involved in 3 school activities, which is good because I'm already making a small impact on West Denton. People are beginning to ask more and more if I'm Philip's brother. I'm also... I love how you're making an impact by being Phil's brother. Like, you're not making an impact on your own. They know you as Phil's brother. Mm-hmm. I'm also getting to know the teachers such as Mr. Davis, Geography, and Mr. Flowers, Art, who I both now meet on a Friday after school at Badminton.
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 I think I'm going to call it that from now on. Let's go play some badminton.
Mington.
Today was Phil's birthday. He is now 16. Wow, he can play the lottery. Oh, okay. What did you buy for Philip for his 16th birthday?
Some scratch tickets.
No, so I'm going to let you know it's stationery. What stationery item or
plastic
items
wallets
did you get him? You think it was plastic wallets?
Yeah.
You got him a wad of paper.
What a present.
What a present.
Oh
now,
my gosh.
wad to me, I'm not sure if you went and bought like a ream of printing paper.
Nah, it would have been a block, like a proper, like, yeah.
That's what I mean, like a ream of printing paper.
Nah, like, yeah, maybe.
Because to me, wad is something that's like been chewed up and spat out. Like so to me, like a wad of paper.
What did you chop? A wad of cash.
Yeah, I guess so.
No, he would have digged that because he's a, cartoonist and whatnot, so...
For his 16th birthday, though, buying someone some... It wasn't even like a nice notebook. It was a ream of printing paper.
I reckon he would have loved it.
We got a takeaway and ate it while watching True Lies with Arnie Schwarzenegger.
Classic.
Whatever his name is. You have to... I think you actually spell it right, to be fair.
Depression. It sucks, doesn't it? I'm so...
What a way to start. What a way to start a diary entry.
I'm so fed up with the people in my class. They all think they're so good. They're all so rude all the time. Mum says if you're nice to them, they're nice to you. But it's not like that these days. People don't have ambitions anymore. They just think life's a walk through the park. They're going to get a nasty shock. Soon, I hope. Mr. Turnbull is one of the worst teachers. He couldn't control a gerbil.
I don't think anyone can control a gerbil.
I told Mr. Turnbull we did more experiments in the middle school than here, and I told him his lessons sucked. In goody-goody language.
In goody-goody. I was going to say, you don't have the balls to say that to a teacher.
TT was okay. We just drew cubes and cuboids.
Cuboids.
With set squares and rulers. Today was frustrating for me. At breakfast, I told Mum I didn't want to wait until the year 2000 to go to Australia for a visit again when I'm 18, because it was far too long to wait. So I told her, and for the rest of the day, she fired questions at me left, right and centre about who I would stay with and where I would go. I soon admitted I was chasing a dream and it would be too hard for Mum, but later insisted that I wrote a letter to Dad, so I did.
That's a tough one, because your mum obviously doesn't want you to go because she doesn't want you to spend time with that side of the family, but at the same time she's a single parent to 3 and probably can't afford the £500 or whatever it cost back then for a round trip to Australia.
Badminton is a very fast sport, but most people consider it as a game for posh people, do they? But they haven't got a clue even how to play it. I like doubles because you always get a fast game, but singles is even better. It's my favourite because you always have to have a hit. I can never beat this sixth former called Kieran Brooks, I think he was called. He's really good and he knows lots of tricks. Today I got my pay and went to town with everybody. I put £5 into my account and there's £89 in there.
Smashing it.
I got some glue tack and a biro and a drawing pencil. Get in.
Today I got 2 merits and now I've got 6. Every 10 you get a certificate. What? A certificate? Oh my god, yes please. Why did we just cream our pants for certificates when we were kids? What does certificates mean? Nothing.
I kept mine.
Well, I know you did, Mark, because you're a hoarder and you
I
keep
have
everything.
Some absolutely awesome certificates. I'll have to upload them. I've got one for spreadsheets and word processing.
But,
and I kept them.
I just don't understand the joy of certificates. The only certificate that I have is my PhD.
No need to brag.
I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that's the only one that I've kept because it's the only one that's of value. I don't even think I've got my bachelor's.
Yeah, I've still got my 2 PhDs. Certificates.
0 PhDs, thank you. In English, you're reading this story and it's really dumb. That's really ironic that you spelled dumb, D-U-M, and you're calling the story dumb. Dum da dum dum dum.
Dumb.
It's about this boy who gets dragged into a ballet play. He discovers this lassie he fancies but gets sick of the ballet and the girl, so he dates this other girl from his school who he previously fancied. We have to predict what's going to happen. Matthew's prediction is a bit wild. He thinks they're going to bonk in the bush, which is not so dumb when you consider what's happened in the story so far. Can you imagine if a story that you read in English in school finishes with them bonking in the bush?
I think it's just being controversial, isn't it?
Well, you obviously know what sex is now, which is a good thing. Oh, there's a match report which I don't really want to read, but I'll read the rest of it.
Read it all.
Matthew had an early chance but was stopped by the keeper to make a corner. I made a good cross, but Darren Stillins didn't get hold of the volley and it was cleared. Matthew made a run, so I received a clearance from Kevin Cowie, who also made a run down the right wing, taking it past 2 players and finally connected to Matthew, and he placed it in the bottom left-hand corner to make it 1-0.
The crowd go wild.
This is very boring. Before the next goal was scored, the other team pulled a goal back due to lack of defence. The next goal was mine after collecting a mint cross from Stephen, and I took it past a defender who wasn't able to catch up, and I blasted it through the keeper's legs to make it 2-1.
Amazing.
Matthew got another to bring his tally to 2, and the other team forged a goal to make the final score 3-2.
Oh my god. Sounds like a classic.
Second leg tomorrow. Today couldn't be better. And the thing that brought joy to my day the most was football again. Also today I got loads of merits. I got 7. How do you get 7 merits in a day?
I reckon that's 7 altogether, isn't it?
No, because you've now got 17 and I'll be getting a certificate of commendation which will be rewarded to me in a future, spelled F-U-T-E-R, future assembly. As soon as oh my god.
Read it.
Match report, second leg.
Or do you want me to read it?
No. Keith Williamson nearly straight away made his mark when I set up a chance which he got and took around 2 players to score, making it 4-2. David Ray scored for the other team to make it 4-3, then scored another one, making it 4-4. We had to pull our finger out now. Keith collected a clearance from Stephen and passed it to me. I took it past 2 players and scored from a tight angle to make it 5-4. And then a goal much the same as my first again to make it 6-4. David Ray scored another, making it 6-5. The next goal was mine again. It would have been the best goal of the game if you asked me. I made a great run down the right wing, taking it past 3 players, and their goalie ran towards me, so I did a beautiful chip, which flew through the air. I completed a hat-trick. Today, a letter arrived from my dad, and it was very short. It was a reply from a harsh letter I sent to him previously.
I've actually got the letters from Dad.
Oh, what?
Well, I kept all these. First letter Dad sent back. Dear Mark, you are very welcome to stay. Please send the dates of all your major school holidays in 1997, including Easter. I will then let you know when your visit is possible. Dear Mark, Easter is fine. I have made a preliminary booking with British Airways for you.
Oh, he did pay.
The details are attached. You will travel as an unaccompanied minor, and the staff will look after you, especially when changing planes in London. The same plane takes you right through to Brisbane, although you touch down in Bangkok and Sydney. They made so to keep you on the plane.
Wow. So Newcastle to London to Bangkok to Sydney to Brisbane.
Yep.
That is horrendous.
P.S. Please tell your mum that I will send a copy of the telemachine statement when it arrives.
That's nice. He's paid for your flights.
Yeah. No one in my school gives a damn I'm going to Australia, so I'm just going to ignore the lot. Today was really weird because we were given a Bible each to keep in assembly. They were made by these people called the Gideons, but they sucked. They were...
They sucked.
They sucked because they were too holy for my liking. The Bible... How can we too
What
holy?
do you think an appropriate level of holy is?
Good question.
How do we determine an appropriate level of
Diet
holy?
holy. Medium fried holy.
Oh, far too holy.
The
They
Bible's...
had at least 6 holes. Just too much.
Yeah. The Bible sucked too. They were only New Testaments.
They were only 2 testaments, so not cool.
They're not
It's not got any of the slaughter and the trauma of the Old Testament.
They're not so cool. Genesis and Jonah rule.
Oh, what a ridiculous, ridiculous statement that whole page is.
Today wasn't any good. It was one of my teacher's birthdays. He's called Mr. Drew, my history teacher. Luckily, we didn't have that lesson. Everyone says he's 51, but I think most teachers retire 10 years before that.
Oh my god, that means you're retiring next year?
Sweet.
I fucking wish. Imagine if we had enough in our super to retire at 41. That is the dream. This is the thing though, everyone feels like teachers are super old. Like I remember the fit teachers at school and how we thought they were super old. They must have been like 21.
Yeah, just newbies.
Yeah, there was a guy called Mr. Hewitt and he had like, I remember he had like the floppy like Nick Carter hair of the 90s and he wore like really high pants and we all thought he was the fittest thing ever, like when we went in year 11, and he must have been early 20s and still going out getting pissed with his mates and stuff, and we thought he was just like in his 40s because you've got no idea of age. The fact that you think that teachers retire at 41.
That's incredible. Today was quite good if you rate it pleasure by lesson, especially
pleasure by lesson,
especially if you're going by PE, because we were doing indoor football rather than basketball since Mr. Butler wasn't in. It was crazy because everyone was blasting it any old way. I think we lost. I only got 2 merits today and overall I've got 22.
School's hard, especially at West Denton. Not the work that's the problem, it's the mixing in with the people. See, there's not many nice people about. They're all very common, which is hard since I'm not.
I'm not a commoner.
I'm not a commoner. I don't want to hang around. There's nearly no nice girls and no nice boys except Raymond, Matthew, Alan Barnes. Slowly it's getting easier, but some people will never change. You sound old. Today sucked so much you wouldn't believe it. The first bad thing was that it snowed and it was bloody freezing. The second bad thing was I was late back my paper round with the snow, which no doubt meant I was late getting to school because I had to get the late bus. The third bad thing. The fourth bad thing was I had a French exam and I think I did well in that. The fifth bad thing was I accidentally pushed this 10th year, so he started on me. The sixth bad thing was I started on someone after them wanting a fight, but when they saw how eager I was to win the fight, they picked up a chair for defence. What an asshole. The seventh bad thing was I had a maths exam and it sucked. I missed out something like 2 pages, probably containing about 10 questions. What a terrible day.
Doesn't seem to be going terribly well this high school.
It's not.
Mum's birthday, 41
hang on.
years old.
What did you get for your mum?
Didn't I get her a cutlery set or something?
That was a couple of years ago from Argos. No, you said you were going to buy her a tea set to match.
Okay.
Did it happen?
Let's see. Today was Mum's birthday. From me, she got a tea set.
Nice.
And she loved it. Overall, Mum really enjoyed her birthday, but all Melvin and Leslie got her was a card, and they are really stingy. Stingy. Did I missay it?
Yeah, you did.
I already wanted that to be a misspelling.
No, it's not. You actually spelt it correctly.
So I just said it wrongly.
You're a badly read boy.
A badly read boy.
Badly read man.
And you're a goodly written girl. Okay, today was... That doesn't make sense either. I'm 14 today. We've got an interesting letter from Granny on Kiona Road explaining my cousins are looking forward to seeing me, which I'm glad of. I hope everything they expect... I hope I'm everything they expect when I see them.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Today I didn't do much. I was just thinking of how fast Christmas has come. I don't like it. It feels like everything is happening around me, but I'm not responding. I don't like how things are happening at the moment. That's a bit deep.
It is quite deep.
Christmas Day. Today was brilliant, obviously. My favourite present was my Game Boy, but there were many other good presents, like my Newcastle United calendar and drink bottle.
Oh, and that Game Boy. I flogged that Game Boy. I played it so much.
Have you still got it?
Yes, I do.
Of course you do. Went to Granny's. For ages, I just played on Tetris on my new Game Boy, but we opened our presents first. I got a trouser brush.
Trouser brush.
A trouser brush.
That must be like a lint brush.
Gift. It is a lint brush. Yeah. Okay. Give me your 14-year-old opening a present to find a trouser brush, having to pretend to be excited about it. Give it me.
What is this?
Like, how do you react at 14 when you get a trouser brush when you're expecting?
That was my reaction. What is
this?
What
is this?
I don't think I would have known what it was.
No, probably not. And I think we're done for 1996.
Are we? Is there anything at the back?
You've written telephone numbers are cool because you can get members and addresses of babes.
Okay.
I wish.
You're dreaming.
You are dreaming. You've got some phone numbers in the back of boys. No girls and addresses.
Any girl number?
No girl numbers. Just boys. 1996. We found and we lost Christine in one fell swoop.
Well,
Lexi was mentioned
twice
as a potential hot girl, and then we never heard from her again. Yeah. And all of the girls in your class are ugly fat pigs.
Yeah.
So there's no options there.
Yeah.
But next year we are going to Australia, so
yeah,
maybe there'll be some hot Aussie beach babes.
Maybe.
That you can hang out with.
And write their numbers in the back of my diary.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Okay. Riveting year. Next episode, 1997. Good day.
No, do the socials.
Oh, yeah. Follow Badly Written Boy online. We're at badlywrittenboy.com. Also find us on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok at Badly Written Boy. Like and subscribe our podcast on Spotify and YouTube. And please, please leave a nice review.